Listeners beware. This podcast contains adult content.
Take this to your grave. Take this to your grave. Secrets are no fun unless you share with everyone. So take this to your grave.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Testing. We're always doing
always
testing. Okay.
I think I'm almost ready. Hold on, let me just make sure I got everything.
Okay, you got your outline, you got your clown tie, you got your spiderweb tights on.
I do. And I am wearing the backup tie because the other one got chewed up.
Boogie knows better than to chew up this one.
It's true. Hi, Jakey.
Hey, Emily, what the heck is that smell? It smells like episode 15.
I thought you were going to say farts.
You think everything smells like farts?
Yes, it's true.
Well, I guess I had forgotten things after living apart from you for over a year, and now I'm moving back in with you. I realize that you have a very sensitive nose, very sensitive ears.
All my senses.
You're a sensitive gal.
It's very true.
I love it.
Welcome to Take This to Your Grave.
The podcast where we take your secrets and spill them out into the universe for the grave saints to swoop up and release into the cemetery of no shame.
In other words, we're just here to make you feel better about the embarrassing or the horrible shit that you've done in your life.
Exactly.
We'll bury them for you. Everything will be fine.
We'll do it free of charge. But if you have a secret or a confession or an embarrassing story that you have yet to spill, you should go to www.takethistoyourgrave.com, where you will find an anonymous submission box, and you can put whatever you want in there, send it to us, and we will feature it on our next episode maybe.
And also, if you're too lazy to write in a secret, I get it, but you could call in at 469-608-1425. Put a star 67 in front of that so that we don't know who you are. We will either just play a audio recording of your secret, or we'll just read a transcribed version of that, and it'll be great.
Also, we have a email, which is takethistoyourgravepodcast@gmail.com, and YouTube, Facebook, Reddit,
Instagram,
Twitter,
all that shit.
And the last little thing that I want to plug is that if you're on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and scroll on down and leave us a rate or review so more people can see our show. Maybe compare us to your favorite type of lunch meat.
Give a shout out to that person. Who was that? Let me find it. I really want to say their name. So this is from Peyton37. I love Emily and Jake. I also love a nice, rare roast beef sandwich with provolone on Italian bread.
Who doesn't?
Thank you so much, Peyton37. That was hilarious.
So if you don't know what to put in the review, just maybe say your favorite lunch.
It smells like farts. Boogie straight up farted. Did he poo? Oh my god.
I'm so glad that you have to have that dog in your closet, and my closet is dog free.
Dogless. Okay. Before we go into the cemetery, what is it that you're drinking, Jakey?
Well, I'm drinking a canned Long Island iced tea, and it is as bad as it sounds.
I'm drinking Truly, and I think at the break I'm going to have to get some whiskey because it's not really doing anything for me.
Woo! I think we might get drunk Emily in this episode like we did in the last one. I love when she comes out.
I'm a nasty freak.
You're all nasty freaks.
Shout out to Chandler.
By the way, that is Emily, and I am Jake. We are going to be your hostesses with the mostesses tonight.
Yeah.
And without further ado, why don't we get the keys, the skeleton key, and go on into the Cemetery of Secrets.
Ooh.
Oh, a pothole. Oh, I sprained my ankle. We're going to get that thing filled.
Stop. Did you bring the lantern, Jake? Do you have the lantern?
I did. I had to get a new one. The mango lantern ran out, but now I have a new... Oh, it's a lemonade melon scented ceremonial lantern.
Nice.
It's lit indeed. So is it my turn to go first this time?
I think so. I honestly don't remember, but go for it.
So just really quickly, so we're all on the same page. Anytime that somebody submits a secret to takethistoyourgrave.com, they go into our inboxes. I read half of them. Emily reads the other half. So I'm about to read to Emily and to all of you a secret that no one else has heard before except myself.
I cannot wait.
Okay, great. So this one is from Sneaky. The subject is called Classroom Shenanigans. Hey guys, big fan of the show, and I'm so glad you're back.
Thanks.
I want to tell you all the story of how I lost my virginity.
Yes, please.
So, me and this friend from high school had an on and off fling for about 3 years at this point. We were never dating, so it was very casual, but we always had a thing for each other. On the last day of our senior year, we decided that we were ready to go all the way. We sneak into an empty classroom after school is over, and he lays on the floor, and I'm on top.
Scandalous.
I know.
At school?
Yeah, I love
it. I like it.
Mind you, at the time, I had no idea about foreplay. I thought you were just supposed to put the thing in the thing and be done and go, LOL. But anyways, I get on top, dry as fuck, and let me tell y'all, that shit hurt.
Yeah.
I started bleeding instantly, and no, I was not on my period.
Oh.
It hurt so bad, and the blood scared me that I literally got off of him in less than a minute. I told him I couldn't do it, and I was going to leave, and he said okay and stood up and said, I'll take care of myself then. I didn't know what he meant until he started jerking off while making direct eye contact with me.
Oh, God.
There's an awkward 5 seconds, and then I leave him alone in the high school classroom, jerking off by himself. We never spoke of it again. 4 years later, we are still friends to this day. That's it from Sneaky.
Wow. Dang, I'm so sorry that your first time was kind of a horror story.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Dang.
Something that is relatable is that everybody's first time, I mean, nobody has a perfect first time.
It's a learning curve always. And what is foreplay? I'm just kidding.
Oh, I had to Google that myself.
I feel like foreplay is the hardest part to wrap your head around, you know?
It's something that nobody ever talks about. Like, if sex ed in America and specifically Texas is already sort of shady. Like, I think that maybe in high school we talked about it for 2 days.
You mean sex in general or foreplay?
No, sex in general, I think, was like a 2-day topic that you talk about for 40 minutes in health class.
Right. They should absolutely tell you that you need to get the girl wet. Come on.
I mean, they don't even say the word foreplay. You know, it's all about exactly what she said in the story. You put the thing in the thing, and then it's over with.
Bada bing, bada boom.
But that is just a small part of sex, the actual penetration. So, I mean, it's not her fault that she was uneducated, but I do give her props for organizing like this little scandalous rendezvous in her high school classroom.
So exciting. Well, clearly he didn't know what foreplay was either, because I feel like he should have done a little something to get her going, you know?
Yeah.
They both didn't know.
Nope, he just laid on down on that cold tile floor and was like, hop on, sister.
Not
you know
sister.
what I mean? Buddy.
Sister. Oh my God. And then he stood up and just made eye contact with her.
She stood there for about 5 seconds and then skedaddled.
That is so funny.
And then left him to fiddle his own faddle in the high school art room or whatever, wherever they were.
Fiddle his own faddle. Where's the weirdest place that you've had sex? Have you ever had sex in like a school before?
Oh
Mr.
my God.
Substitute, Mr.
Never in a school. I can't believe you're putting me on the spot right now. Oh, I've definitely done it in a car before.
That is not crazy.
I
shouldn't shame you. That's crazy, Jake. I'm so proud of you.
And I'm so boring, I guess, because the whole time that it was happening in the car, I was just like, I wish I was in my bed. I wish I was in my bed. Like, for me, at least, the idea of being in a public space or like an unconventional area is really exciting, but the act of doing it is usually very physically uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get it.
My bed is so fucking lush and cozy, and that's where I want to be whenever I'm sprawled out.
When you're vulnerable and sprawled.
It might sound fun to do it in like a circus tent or like in a gutter or whatever, but once you actually do it, it's not very practical.
Yeah. I think my weirdest place was probably a roof.
I've heard about that.
It was exciting.
You've told me.
I recommend it. You can see the stars, all the planes. Nobody's looking up there. It was a good time.
You called me or something the next day, and you're like, I got roof burns on my ass. And I was like, oh, my
God. Anyways, thank you so much for writing that in.
Thank you, Sneaky.
I hope you're a pro at foreplay now.
I bet she is. And I bet the other guy probably is, too. I
bet
think
so,
they
too.
both have spread their wings, and I commend you guys for still being friends. You
Yeah.
had this awkward interaction, but you didn't let it, sully your whole relationship or whatever.
Maybe try it again, honestly.
Break back into that school. Yeah.
Squash that memory.
Who knows?
Okie dokie. Throw that skeleton. What do you call it? The skull of
Let me toss the skull on over to you.
Cotting. Thanks. Okay, so this is from Mickey Mouse.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Sorry about that. Okay, anyways, you were saying?
Subject, pee-pee. Growing up, my family would take us to Disneyland and California Adventures. I'm maybe 10 years old, and I'm riding a roller coaster for the very first time.
Woo!
At California Adventures, the main coaster is a pretty fast one with a big ol' loop-de-loop. My dad and I get strapped in, and as we start the ride, I look at my dad with pure horror and say, I have to pee. He laughs and tells me it's way too late and just to hold it. Well, that ain't happening. We zoom off immediately into the loop-de-loop where I fully piss my shorts. This part is no joke. Since I had peed at the beginning of the loop, by the time we came around it, a little bit had showered onto everyone.
No!
Obviously, no one knew what it was except my dad and I, who was clearly mortified that his daughter had peed in public and on him.
No!
I hoped that we were going so fast that the rest of it would just fly away. Wrong. When the ride was over, I sprinted out of there, but still saw the next two people who were to take our seats clearly gasp at the pee in the seat. My dad and I had to go to the gift store to buy me the ugliest pair of sweats to fix the damage. I laugh at it now, but peeing your pants at Disneyland was quite an embarrassing thing to experience. The end.
Yes! Damn, that one was so good.
So funny. I did a little bit of research. Like, you can Google it, and there are so many YouTube videos of people who have done this. And I'll post this on our content page for real. And this is specifically for you, Mickey Mouse, because it's 16 horror stories that happened at Disney parks.
Ooh.
And many people have this exact same story, and a lot of them are adults.
Are they peeing because they're scared or because they just didn't realize that they were going to have a full bladder?
Well, think about waiting in those lines.
I forgot about the lines.
And it's like you get up there and it's like, well, fuck, I have to pee, but I've waited this long. I don't want to lose my place in line.
Because there's no getting out and saying, like, can you
No.
hold my spot while I go pee?
That'll never happen.
Sometimes you stand in line for 90 minutes,
yeah,
like
seriously,
it's...
for a 60-second ride.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But there's that, and then, I'm at the age almost where I sneeze and, almost pee.
You're not even
myself.
30.
It happens.
Just
Okay,
incontinence.
let's cut that. I know, I haven't even had a kid yet. I need to do more Kegels. But take a look at this BuzzFeed article on the content page. I think it'll make you feel a little bit better. There are some really horrific poop stories, so...
It could have been way worse, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. It could have been worse. Also, what's interesting that popped up the most when I researched this is that it's a little random, but I learned that roller coasters can help you pass a kidney stone.
The kidney stone's aligned.
I got a CT scan recently, and I apparently have 2 kidney stones just waiting to pass. Anyway.
One in each kidney.
Yeah, so there's a thing called lithotripsy, which is like an ultrasound used to break large kidney stones into smaller pieces, and a roller coaster is compared to that procedure.
That's amazing. I feel like that would be the funnest diagnosis from, a doctor.
Right. I should take a doctor's note to Six Flags, and it's like, I need to go to the front.
I need to go jostle my kidneys.
This is a medical emergency because, you want to jostle them and get them out before they grow bigger, before you have to have, surgery. It is so excruciatingly painful, y'all.
But just imagine doing one of those loops, and then one of your jostled kidney stones falls out of you and lands on the person underneath.
That's not... Well, if you're Mickey Mouse and you pee, they don't just fall out of you. You have to pee them out.
Oh, but they fall out and they're actual, hard little calcified stones.
Yeah.
Ooh, gross.
Yeah, it's gross, and it's very, very painful. I've passed 2 in my life. Any hoodle.
Sorry about your stones.
It's fine. I need to drink more water and less whiskey.
Well, this gives us an excuse to go back to Six Flags.
I want to ride a roller coaster so bad. I just need that. Woo! Adrenaline rush. I want to feel...
I know exactly how to give you that adrenaline rush that you're craving.
Oh?
I have a scary submission.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited.
This one is a tad on the long side, but I think it's cool. So this one is called Childhood Demon.
Fuck yeah.
From Caitlin.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Hi. Let me start off by introducing myself. I am considered a psychic medium. I have astral projections and have been able to see the dead for most of my life.
Ooh.
Some believe it, some do not, and that's okay. I understand it's a little bit of a punch in the face compared to casual conversation starters. As a kid, I watched Ghost Hunters and all the alien shows, so I've always been in tune with the paranormal world, but this is the story of my first ever experience that led me down the path with the dead and how it tried to come back to bite me. I was in the 4th grade coming home after a basketball game. I still remember the blue jerseys and my team name like it was yesterday. My papa came to pick me up in his van to take me home, but only after driving through the Wendy's drive-thru because he always treated me to food.
Aw.
By the time I got home, it was late at night and the moon was full. My papa had to go down this long gravel driveway to park in the backyard. While he was doing something inside of the van, I grabbed my nuggets and hopped out my door. That's when I noticed something standing beside my house, something that would haunt me for years to come. It was a demon-like entity.
What?
It had a tail and long, sharp claws on its hands and feet, horns on its head, and razor-like teeth dripping with a slimy liquid. The fur on its back was sharp and pointed off of it like a mohawk down its spine that looked like it could cut me open with one touch.
Ooh.
Hollow, black sockets for eyes that were staring at the road we were just on like it had been waiting for us. I could feel its negative energy even as a kid. I stood there, paralyzed for a moment until I could finally catch my breath, which made my body slam against the van like the life was being sucked out of it. I watched this demon as it slowly turned its head and looked me dead in the eye. At this point, I waited for it to attack or something, but instead, it ran around the side of the house like it was scared of me. There's a little bit of a time jump here. Time flew by. I am much older now and in college. The night that I saw that thing traveled with me for so long, but eventually I grew up and forgot about it. Until I met Logan. You're scared?
I'm scared.
She always does that when she's scared.
Sorry.
We were connected through mutual friends because of our similar backgrounds, me being a psychic and Logan being a demonologist.
Cool.
He has had a long history with demons and exorcisms, and I thought his adventures were cool. We would hang out and trade stories about all the crazy crap that's happened to us, and eventually I began to help him out with a lot of his cases because of my unique connection to the spirit world. One day, Logan told me of a friend of his who had a horrible demon attached to him named Larnicus. Supposedly, Logan had done some alchemy to try to trap the demon, but it had escaped and was starting to harm him. So he asked for my help to recapture the demon, and I was hesitant at first. Not sure if I was ready for such a high task, but I agreed. We gathered tree roots and prepared the ritual to trap it. We set everything up, and as soon as we started, I suddenly went blank. Apparently, I asked for a piece of paper and I started scribbling like crazy, like I wasn't controlling my hand. When I stopped, I looked down at what I drew. There on the paper were the hollow sockets, the horns, the teeth, the fur, the demon who had come to me whenever I was young. Logan's eyes widened in fear, and I knew that I had drawn what he and his friend had seen. It was Larnicus.
Oh.
As I tried to explain to Logan that we must share a tether through the same demon, I felt the pressure of 3 fingers run across my forehead. That's when we rushed to finish the ritual and managed to trap Larnicus in a jar, which we later put in a box with stones and dropped into a river. To this day, I can still get a feeling of him whenever I think of the jar we trapped him in. It's like he's trapped in my head, in my memories, my own Build-A-Bear demon. And that is the story of my childhood demon returning for a visit.
What the fuck? A jar.
I know. Whenever I read that, I thought that this was going to be a much more like epic capture of this crazy demon that's been, haunting this girl and apparently other people her whole life. And then she says a fucking, peanut butter jar or whatever kind of jar that they caught this scary guy in. But I guess it worked.
Jelly jar.
Right?
Dang. Spooky, spooky, spooky.
Can you imagine just like on a normal Tuesday, you and I drinking on the couch, watching Married at First Sight, and maybe in the apartment next to us could be a couple of people trying to catch a demon in a mason jar?
Maybe that's what Billy's doing, our neighbor.
Or Tim.
Maybe that's why our apartment is so cheap. Maybe we have a demon.
I have been suspicious about that.
Me too.
Well, there's this one thing that I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
I looked up a method online from everythingunderthemoon.com, a spell to trap an evil spirit in a jar.
Ooh.
So let me tell you how to do it.
Please do.
Just in case. This might come in handy to our listeners or to us.
Yeah.
So it says that this traps any evil entity or evil spirits and prevents any harm being done. You'll need 4 things: salt water, 1 dried rose, 13 rose thorns, and then a small glass jar with a tightly fitting lid. So you're going to put the rose thorns into the jar one at a time, and as you drop them in, you chant the following words: "Thou demon presence, be no more." So you're going to do that 13 times. And then you crush the thorns up in the jar, and then you crush up the rose petals in your hand and put those in the jar. Slowly add in the salt water. Keep the jar open overnight. And then in the next morning, before sunrise, close the lid. All the evil should now be trapped inside of the jar. Then you're going to cover the jar with a cloth and bury it far away from your house.
Be no more.
This website also had weight loss spells. Spells to make someone realize that they're wrong. Spells to find lost things, which I might send you the link to that.
Yeah, I need that.
Because you are forever losing things.
Yeah.
There's even a recipe for an invisibility potion, which I might use, so watch your back.
I was going to say, it's your turn to prank me. I've been waiting. I've been, sleeping with one eye open.
I know. Emily and I have been in a bit of a prank war. But there was one spell that I think we can use right now. Are you ready?
Yeah, right now?
This is a protective spell for dogs. So can you please grab Boogeyman, hold him up?
Yes, he's driving me crazy right now. Is it going to make him chill out?
I think this will generally protect him, keep him safe in his life.
He keeps farting. Make him stop farting.
Okay, maybe this will control his gas. Okay, protective spell for dogs from everythingunderthemoon.com. Diana, goddess of the wild, keeper of dogs, both fierce and mild.
Can you hear him?
Hold, name of pet, so I'm Boogeyman. Hold Boogeyman safely in your arms and protect this creature from all harm. And should the day come that he/she roams, guide him/her to the path back home. Bless Boogeyman with a joyful life, free of hardship, stress, and strife.
Oh, Boogie, did you hear that?
He does look way more calm right now.
Did you hear him growling and stuff at me? And now he's almost asleep. Wow. It worked.
Thank you, Diana, goddess of the wild. I don't know who you are, but you just blessed our pup.
He's been blessed. Thank you so much.
Woo! Thank you for writing in, Caitlin. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Let me toss the skull back to you. Catch, quick!
Ha! Got him. Okay. So this one is from someone named Hacked. No subject. One time I took a picture of me fingering myself, but it was 5th grade, so super exploratory and awkward. Well, I forgot to delete it and went to show a group of girlfriends at a sleepover a cool pic, and that came up instead.
No!
Everyone was embarrassingly silent, and I called my mom to pick me up. The end. Yes. So fucking funny. So I mean, for people our age and, in this time period, I imagine this isn't an uncommon thing. With Snapchat and people sending nudes left and right, I'm sure it's bound to happen. You open up your gallery and oops, there's a nude of yourself. I've even heard horror stories of people accidentally sending a nude to the wrong person.
Oh, no.
Have you ever done that before?
I have never.
Have you ever sent a nude before?
Yes, a lot. So many, Emily.
So many nudes.
But always to the appropriate person.
Yes, I think it's crazy. I mean, that's just kind of life these days.
Especially during quarantine, you got to get your jimmies jammeled somehow.
What is up?
I don't...
So, I mean, yes, 5th grade is quite young, but I did a little bit of research if anybody out there is like, oh my God, 5th grade, blah, 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 blah. Well, according to kappanonline.org, this little paragraph stood out to me. Given the earlier onset of puberty among American youth and the startlingly young age at which kids are exposed to sexual content, many schools now begin sex education in the 5th grade. The rationale is that students need to understand what's happening to their bodies, learn the basics of sexuality and reproduction, and pick up some refusal skills in preparation for sexual shenanigans in middle school. I just assumed that a boy maybe asked her for this picture, or she was just curious and wanted to know what her vagina looked like. Took a picture, I'm sure there are listeners that are like, that's way so young, but everybody hits puberty at a different age, and
It sounds, I guess, surprising to me, but that's only because I was a late fucking bloomer.
And I wasn't. I was a very early, well, it's ironic because I'm so tiny and I don't have boobs, but I was an early bloomer. And I was like, curious about sex at a pretty young age, probably around this time too. So I think if I had access to a camera, I probably would have taken a picture of my vagina too.
Vagina.
My vagina. Sorry.
But I hope this was a lesson to her and to all the listeners out there, and maybe to you, Emily. Do you utilize your hidden album on your iPhone?
No, I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Oh my God, it's a setting. All you have to do in your photo album, you go to the bottom left corner and push that little like square with the up arrow, and scroll down. There's a button that says hide, and if you click that, it will go out of your normal albums and secure it safely into a specific album called like your hidden album, and that's where you gotta hide all your porns.
Boogie, no!
What?
He's almost chewed through my computer charger. Boogie, that is dangerous.
Boog. Let me see his shameful face.
He didn't even feel bad a little bit. Also, I don't think my charger's working anymore.
At all?
It's not. It's plugged in and it's just not working. It's fully charged, but motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay, well, on that note, we need to go spank our dog.
Yeah, and I need whiskey.
And I have a full bladder, so let's take a quick
little break.
And we'll be right back, you guys. You nasty freaks.
And we're back.
How's it going, Emily?
Good. I just needed a little pinch of shredded cheese, some wasabi seaweed, and I needed to pawn Boogie off to you because he was driving me fucking crazy. I hope he's behaving in there and eating your computer charger.
Now I got Boogeyman in my closet, and he's a little disoriented, I think, but he's fine.
He'll be fine. He'll be great. Okay, now that we are back, I think it's time for the...
Swippity, 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 swippity.
Swappity, 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 swappity,
Swippity.
So this is the part of the show, the Swippity Swap, where I take a submission that I've read before that I was dying for Jake to read out loud on the show. A cold read, he's never read it before, I want to hear his natural reaction, and he's going to do the same for me. So here we go. Who goes first?
I guess it doesn't matter. Why don't we have me read the one first?
Great. All right. Should be in the email. Doodle boodle.
Okay, so this is from the fake name Grandpa's Story. Subject, Big Red. This is a story from my grandfather's book of memories. He gave me permission to send this to your iPod, end quotes, what he thinks podcasts are called. Aww.
I know, so cute.
Send this to their iPod.
I love it.
Here it goes. Well, I was sitting in my office one afternoon when a buddy of mine called me and said, "Let's go fishing." I said I was busy, but he told me to take off anyway. So I did. I went home and changed clothes and got a rod and reel. My wife had gone out of town with a girlfriend to shop for the day, and I was supposed to be back after work to take care of our 2 daughters. I had planned to be back in time, but when my buddy and I left, we got in his pickup and we pulled out a bottle of Jack Daniels. He uncapped it, threw the cap out the window, and handed it to me. I love that. I've never heard of that before. It's like, you throw the cap out, that means you have to finish it.
Right.
I told him I couldn't drink that stuff straight, so he pulled over at a gas station and bought a big bottle of Big Red. I would take a swig of whiskey and then chase it down with the red soda pop, and it went down smooth. We arrived at the dam, caught some fish, and finished off the bottles of Jack Daniels and Big Red. When we got back to my buddy's house, his wife offered to drive me home since I was not able to drive. I suppose I had lost track of time, because soon after I got home, the neighbor from across the street rang the doorbell and said, "Your kids are at my house." He was irate that I got home so late. I thanked him and got the girls, but they were crying because he hadn't fed them dinner yet. I was sicker than a dog, so I gave them some crackers or something and told them to go to sleep. Sometime after that, I strung that red soda pop all the way from my bedroom through the kitchen and to the back patio. So I guess that means he vomited.
Yeah. Yeah.
When my wife got home, she saw the red splattered throughout the house. She thought it was blood and that we had all been murdered. There I was just lying out there on the patio looking like I was dead, and she went berserk. After a moment, I was able to explain what happened, and she was furious with me that I had thrown up all over the house, left the girls at the neighbors for so long, and sent them to bed without any dinner. I paid for the fishing trip, and I had never been able to look at a bottle of Big Red ever since. The end.
Yes! So fucking funny.
That is, I love it. I have never thought of the combination of Jack Daniels and Big Red.
That sounds so yucky.
I was about to say it sounds good. So Big Red is like bubblegum flavor soda. So like,
Is it bubblegum?
yeah.
Or is it cinnamony? I really don't even know. I don't remember the last time I had it.
Big Red gum is cinnamon. Big Red soda is definitely bubblegum flavor.
Well, that sounds absolutely atrocious. It just cracks me up to think of the wife coming home, like everything's normal, and then there's just all this red shit splattered throughout the house, and you find your husband out back on the patio just like passed out. I would totally freak the fuck out. I would totally think that he was dead.
Yes, for the first 5 seconds, I would freak out that my family was murdered. But then for the next 3 days after that, I would be pissed that you just ruined the interior of our house. The way that he worded it, that sort of tripped me up. And now I realize that it's just very like vivid writing, is that he said, "I strung that red soda pop all the way from the bedroom through the kitchen to the back patio." That just seems like it was just like a solid line.
Yeah. I would be pissed too that the kids, like, you've just completely forgot about the kids. You did not give a fuck about the kids. Gave them some crackers or something and sent them to bed. But I get it too, because I've definitely been so drunk and so fucked up, and I can't even imagine having 2 children to take care of when I'm in that state. Oh,
It's hard enough to take care of our puppy whenever we're drunk.
I know. And when we're sober. Shit.
I just looked it up, and Big Red is apparently vanilla cream soda that's just colored red.
Well, that sounds good, actually.
That sounds good with some Jack, right?
Maybe we should try it. Let's get so fucked up and see if when we vomit, if it looks like blood.
Listen, I propose that in episode 16, our next episode, that we both at least have a little bit of Big Red and Jack Daniels.
Only if it's gluten-free.
If it does turn out to be glutinous, then only I will drink it. But I think we owe it to...
Grandpa.
Yeah, we owe it to Grandpa to try his cocktail, and we'll let everybody know whether or not
our vomit looks like blood or not. Because I plan on getting trashed and throwing it up.
Well, if it does have gluten, you will throw up no matter what.
Oh!
All right. So you swapped one to me. I'm going to swap one back to you. Go look in our email because I have one waiting for you.
Okay, so this one does not have a name or a subject. Here we go. Late yesterday, I connected with a hot girl, 8 out of 10, on Tinder. We grabbed a bite to eat, had lots of drinks, got stoned, and then hooked up. Hell yeah. Afterwards, I crashed at her place. About 3 a.m., I woke up to terrible abdomen cramps. I had never experienced anything like that before, and the pain was extremely intense. I jumped out of bed and ran to the bathroom. It felt like I was just extremely gassy and needed to fart or take a massive shit, but sitting on the toilet, nothing was coming out. So I started to tear through her bathroom cabinets and drawers looking to see if she had anything to relieve gas. Keep in mind, I'm drunk, stoned, and experiencing bursts of extreme pain, so I wasn't thinking very clearly. The cramps continued at an increasingly frequent pace. Now, I'm barely getting a minute of relief between the cramps, and so I decide to sit back down on the toilet and just push as hard as I can to see if anything will come out. At one point, I was pushing so hard I thought I was going to give myself an aneurysm or a hernia, shit. But then I felt movement. It's a huge, hard as fuck, shit brick, and it is destroying my ass as I push to try and get it out. Jake!
We've all been there.
Oh, finally, it comes out and I experience almost instant relief.
Woo!
It's then that I realize there's no toilet paper on the reef. So I stand up to grab a new roll from under the cabinet that I had seen previously when looking for gas relief stuff, but that turns out to be a huge mistake. The moment I stand up, diarrhea explodes out of my ass and splatters all over the toilet and the entire area surrounding the toilet. It hits the shower curtain, the side of the cabinet, the floor, the run. It's everywhere. Like the runner.
Yeah, a long piece of carpet.
Yeah, okay. Whew. I sit back down to complete my shit and just smear what was on the seat all over myself. After I completed and cleaned myself up, I surveyed the damage, and it was bad. Really bad. Shit everywhere, plus I had emptied most of the contents of her cabinets onto the counter or the floor. In addition, my underwear had been hard hit by the explosion, so they couldn't be saved. Thank God the rest of my clothes were still in the bedroom. I had two options. Clean up the bathroom. Keep in mind I was drunk and stoned. Or dash. Oh no. So I snuck out to the bedroom, grabbed my phone, ordered an Uber, quietly got dressed, and dashed out of there, leaving my Calvin Klein boxer briefs in her bathroom garbage. About 9:45 this morning, she started sending me text messages. At first, just wondering where I had gone. Then, once she stumbled into the bathroom, I assume, messages asking what the fuck had happened and why I had left her such a huge mess, with increasing amounts of obscenities as I failed to respond. That's the end, yeah?
Yikes!
Oh my fucking God. Oh.
So fucked up. So not cool.
This is like exactly what happens in Dumb and Dumber when Harry explodes in Mary's bathroom, and she knocks on the door and she's like, Harry, I hope you're not using the bathroom in there. The toilet's broken. And he's just like, we never find out what happens when she sees what happened in that toilet or whatever, but he just left. He just fucking left. Oh my God. But I also understand, if you don't know this person, and I guess you just can't face their reaction. I mean, this is I understand leaving. I do. I mean, it's so shitty of you to do, but I get it.
Well, I can understand the mindset that he was in. If you're that stoned and you just did something that embarrassing and that, like, surprising, like, obviously he had no idea that this was about to come out of him. And then you just take a step back and in your stoned, cross-faded brain, you're like, fuck. What is he supposed to do? Like, go over to her and, like, wiggle her awake and be like, hey, stranger, where's your Clorox wipes?
Or just go find something. Or I don't know what you were supposed to do, but what a horror story.
Since he rated her, I want you to rate him. How would you feel, 1 out of 10? How mad would you be if you were the girl and you walked into that bathroom?
Like 10 being the most mad?
The most mad you've been in your life, yeah.
15. 20? Can you imagine having to spend the next hour or so cleaning up somebody else's shit? I struggle cleaning up Boogie's shit.
Yeah.
And do you know how long that smell lingers in the room after you've cleaned it?
And not just the smell, but the memory. This girl has to think back of every time that she goes into that bathroom, and she just probably gets flashes of her shower curtain and her bath mat being splattered. And
she probably just threw everything away. I would have called like those crime scene cleaner companies. I'm serious.
We got a code brown.
Or I would have screenshotted his profile and posted it on something that's just like, don't have him. No. Don't shame him. It just sucks because I've totally been there where you wake up with an upset stomach and there's like literally nothing you can do about it. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for this guy and this girl. Damn. I mean, at least it makes a really fucking hilarious story for us to talk about, but shit.
Yeah. If I was him, I would hope that I would the next day Venmo her like a cool $70. Be like, here.
70.
I mean, what is the price tag? How much would he need to send you to make it okay?
I don't know that money would pop in my head as like, okay, the one thing that'll make this okay is if he sends me some money. You know what I mean? It would be like, hey, I'm going to pay for you to go get a massage. And while you're gone, I will come over to your house with my cleaning supplies and I will make up for what I did to your bathroom and to you.
But I guess he would only be inspired to do that if he thought that this was going to be like if he wanted a second date. But maybe they both like banged and they realized that this is clearly just a one-night stand.
Well, even just leaving after fucking somebody, like sneaking out in the middle of the night is terrible. Like, I'm sure when she first woke up and he wasn't there, she was like, damn, like he left.
There's sometimes that I've been happy that has happened to me, honestly.
Who's done that to you? I'm going to find them and kick their ass.
No, it was to both of our benefits where I
didn't want them there. Yeah, I get it.
I had the one-night stand with them, and the whole time that we were both sleeping, it was clearly just sort of like, I wish I had more elbow room. I wish he would just leave. But it's too rude for me to be like, hey, you need to get out of here. They're just like sleeping as like a courtesy or whatever. And then bright and early in the morning, I roll over and they're gone. And I'm like, whoo, thank God you're gone. But if I were to walk into my bathroom and see that it's caked in their shit, then, obviously that would be a turn for the worse.
This is crazy. So good. So fucking good. So bad, but so good.
Well, thank you so much for writing in, and
better luck next time. Take gas pills with you. Take some Tums. Keep some Clorox and some paper towels in your car. Oh, but he Ubered there.
Fanny pack. Invest in the fanny pack and keep all the essentials right there on your waist.
Yes, Wipies, Gas X, Tums.
Ready to go.
And $200.
Okay, so we have done everything, Emily. I read a story, you read a story. I read a story, you read a story. We swapped stories, and now...
Are you ready to play? Great game.
Whoa! This is the part of the show where one of us quizzes the other person on some sort of random thing. Just a little fun way to end the show because at this point both of us are kind of drunk.
I know. I'm already almost done with my whiskey. Hey-o!
Hey-o! And Emily, I'm going to say that this one is going to be
a doodle?
Unconventional Grave Games. It's not really trivia, so you can't lose.
Does that also mean that I can't win?
You can't win, but we might find out something really cool because I was inspired by the demon story that I read you, where there was that one demon in this story named Laricus. No, Larnicus. And I was like, that's a cool name. I looked it up online to see if there is like a famous demon called Larnicus. couldn't find anything. But I did come across a demon name generator where it asks you 10 questions and it tells you what your demon name is.
Are you going to tell me my demon name?
If you agree to answering these 10 personal questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Question number 1. Does your name start with a vowel or a consonant?
A vowel.
Correct! Emily does start with an E.
I'm so glad I knew that for a second. I was like, oh my god.
I will say, everyone, that this is a demon name generator on brainfall.com, this is one of the most janky websites I've ever seen. Lots of ads.
I'm still excited.
Okay, question number 2. What would be your defining evil trait? Dishonesty, pride, greed, inflicting pain.
Pride.
Okay. Number 3. What type of demon would you be? A demon like the ones described in the Bible? I'd be more of a ghost. I'd be my own type, something completely original. Or a stereotypical horror movie demon.
I feel like I'd be my own. I don't know the Bible ones. I feel like I'd be my own type. That's just my gut.
Something original. Okay, great. Number 4. How many syllables are in your first name?
Me, le, 3.
Okay, number 5. What type of evil things would you do? I'd possess people. I'd tempt people to become their worst versions. I'd torture people. Or I'd just hang out.
Dang, I feel like the last one. Either the first or the last one. How about the last one?
Just hang out? Okay.
Yeah. I come in peace. Pass the bowl.
Pass it over. Give me some of that devil lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your least favorite thing about being a demon? Dealing with demon bureaucracy? It would be frustrating having to be evil all the time. Can't I have a break? Fighting with the angels? Or nothing. I'd love every part.
I think fighting with the angels. Let me live my life, angels.
You are argumentative, I will say.
No, I'm not.
Number 7. What would be your favorite thing about being a demon? The supernatural powers? The ability to act without repercussions? Immortality? Or the drama?
Ooh, the first one.
Supernatural powers?
Yeah. I've always wanted powers.
Okay, number 8 out of 10. How evil are you? Honestly, I'm not that evil. Mildly evil? Pretty darn evil? Or as evil as it gets?
I'd say pretty darn evil.
Okay. Number 9. What are you using this name for? Just for fun? For a book, TV show, or movie? For your alter ego? Or I need to name the thing that's been haunting my house for the past 6 months?
That last one, for sure. It's been 2 months, but still accurate.
Okay. And then question 10 out of 10. How high-ranking of a demon are you? Low, mid, high, I am royalty.
I'm royalty.
I should have known. Okay, calculating results. Oh, to get your results, you need to answer a quick survey.
Oh my god. Let's do it real quick. Just click random shit. I have to know.
Oh, quick, this is important. Please indicate your impression of Liquid Plumber. Very unfavorable or very favorable?
Very favorable. So this is sponsored by Drano.
Yes. Oh, okay, almost done. Sorry about that. Oh, okay, I got it. The survey's over. Your demon name is... Oh, shit, pop-ups.
They're never going to tell us.
You are... Oh, I don't really know how to pronounce this. Urgrinar.
Urgrinar.
I like it. You're going to have to post this on the content page so everybody can hear what demon name they have.
Yes, I'm sorry you guys are going to have to sift through a lot of drain cleaner ads, but it's worth it. I did mine as a test drive earlier today, and I am Oozgore.
Ooh, I love it. Will you screenshot that or write it down because I already forgot it?
Urgrinar. Yeah, I got you.
Oozgore and Urgrinar. Awesome. Great grave games, Jakey.
Thanks.
I enjoyed that a lot. Well, it's getting a little chilly out here. So let's grab our shovels and let's start digging these ceremonial holes.
We really like to honor the people that were brave enough to write in their secrets, and we just want all of them to know that these confessions are going to go into the soil of our graveyard,
Anything that you've done that you're ashamed of or embarrassed of is okay.
Whether you peed on the roller coaster and showered everybody else that was riding along with you.
Or whether you vomited Big Red and made your wife think that you and your family were dead.
Or even if you had a demon from your childhood show up again during a seance with your friend Logan.
Or if you had a one-night stand and you shat all over their bathroom and then fucking ghosted them and left them with the mess for them to clean up.
That one's pretty rough, but even so, we are gonna take that weight off of your shoulders and we are pushing it deep
Into the crowd.
and covering it up with this dirt of forgiveness.
Doesn't matter what you did in the past.
Doesn't matter what you will do in the future.
The shame won't last.
Thank you so much.
That was good.
We want to thank you from the bottom of our skeletons.
You are drunk. We want to thank you guys for writing in to us. Thank you so much for listening. If you have a secret or an embarrassing story or a confession that you would like to write in, please go to www.takethistoyourgrave.com. Call the number that we said at the beginning. I don't have it pulled up right now, so I don't know what it is. We appreciate y'all so much. Follow us on Instagram. Rate our show. Jake, anything from you?
I'm going to go ahead and throw the skull on over to Boogeyman. And he's passed out.
Okay, he's asleep.
We need to go put our dog to bed, y'all. Good night, everyone.
Thanks again, y'all. We love you. Buddies forever.
Buddies forever.
Bye-o, bye-o, bye-o.
Ooh, that pothole. Oh, my ankle. Oof. Gotta get that thing filled in.
Fucking hate these stupid jokes. I fucking hate this.